Well, hello everybody in Australia. I'm back. My name's Tim Dwyer, and I want to talk to you about two things. One is our Constitution, our beloved Constitution, and why we should not, cannot ever become a republic, not if we want to remain free people anyhow. So, firstly, let me go back to the book. Here it is. You've seen it all before, and I've just posted up on some of the things on Facebook, a PDF version of this, because this is terribly hard to get your hands on, and they're about $300 to $400 each. You can get PDF of it, and even if you have to print it out, there's 1,000 pages. Double page it, that's a ream of paper. It's still going to be cheaper than paying for this, okay? Anyway, but we'll see how we go. Now, what I want to talk to you today about is, very quickly, in the preamble. See, the preamble gives you the explanation of every word in the actual Constitution Act. You know, whereas we, the people, humbly relying on the blessings of Almighty God. So it gives the meaning of the word whereas. Then it gives the meaning, and that's pages and pages of it. And here, on page 292 of the preamble, subsection 6, it says, I'll just put it up there so as if you can see it, you can see it, so you know I'm not fibbing. But here it is. It says, to unite in one indissoluble federal commonwealth. Now let's have a look at that. Indissoluble. What the heck does that mean? Well, according to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, the definition of indissoluble means not dissoluble, especially incapable of being annulled, undone, or broken. It is permanent. Now, that's more than interesting. We're going to come back to those definitions in a little while. So, let's have a look at this. In 1900, the Queen created the office of the Governor-General by the creation with the letters patent of 1900. Right? Now, the letters patent is to create the office of the Governor-General. The Governor-General was the Queen's representative in the Australian colony. His job, one of his jobs, or hers, was to swear in the elected government so as that they would be legitimate. There would be a legitimacy to their position. Well, our old mate Bob Hawke, our bear sculling mate Bob and a few of his friends got together, and late one night they changed a few things, and it went through the English Parliament to create the Australia Act, because nobody in Australia objected. There was no objection, so therefore it must be right. Except nobody in Australia, none of the people anyway, knew what was going on. Now, you've heard me say on a previous video that the Queen of Australia is an entity. It's not Queen Elizabeth, the lady who wears the crown. It's not that, right? This is the seal of the Queen of Australia, Elizabeth II, Queen of Australia. Now, that's important because what I want to share with you is this. What happens now is, here's the new letters patent. It's got the corporate logo on it, and it says here, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen of Australia, right? And her other territories, and head of the Commonwealth. This is sounding like it's the real Queen. It's not. Right? You've got to understand, it's not the real Queen. This is a corporate entity, and the Governor-General is sworn in by a piece of paper representative of this entity. And so I think it's only fair that as you and I drive around, and we have to have a driver's license, we have to have a fishing license, we have to have a boat license, we have to have a shooting license, we have to have a license for everything, right? So I think it's only fair if we have to show identification and proof, then I think we should be asking our government officials to show their documents of where their authority lies and under what letters patent they operate. Because if they're operating under anything other than the letters patent of 1900, of which was sent to the archives in 1977, and have been operating under the Queen of Australia letters patent ever since, then we have an illegitimate government. And so by them wanting to create a republic, we have an illegitimate government trying to break the law of an indissoluble, right? Indissoluble Commonwealth. So we'll have an illegal government creating an illegal republic, and you and I and everybody else in Australia won't be any of the wiser unless we pay attention, unless every chance that you get, you ask your government official, regardless of what stature they are, to produce the documents that evidence their authority. Now, they'll bark and whinge and carry on, and they'll do all sorts of stuff. But I can tell you, and I know for a fact, see this, I would say somewhere between 78 and 80% of the government ministers, the elected officials in this country have never seen this. They certainly haven't read it. They don't know what's in it, and yet they purport to be there for you and I. This is the highest law in the country. And Justice Kirby, before he retired, said, please, Australia, pay attention. You're losing your constitution. Be vigilant. And let me tell you this. What they're doing is wrong. It's just not right. It's not right. And by sheer definition of something not being right, then it must be wrong. You know it, you just don't know what to do about it. Start by asking them, have you read this? Not the little skinny book they've got, the real Constitution. And then ask them, under which letters patent are they purporting to have authority? Well, you have a great day. Hope this helps. See you later.